On today's episode, I'm going to talk about Legendary Flangers. Before we get going, there may be some of you who wonder, what is a flanger? How does it work? Basically, the origins of flange go back to tape machines when you used to could put your thumb on the flange mechanism of that machine, hold it down and kind of smear the note, causing a modulation, slight kind of warble delay-like sound. And then people put that into effects pedals and effects units using modern technology. And basically you're mixing two of the same exact signal together, and you delay one of them by 20 milliseconds or less and add a comb filtering effect. And then you take the output and feed it back into the input. It's a lot of information, but that's what a flanger is, and you can do some crazy stuff. It is in the modulation category, but it is a slapback delay at certain settings, and all kinds of crazy stuff exists within different types of flanging circuits. These are my absolute favorite legendary ones. There's a lot more, but these are all that I care about today. And here we go. The first legendary flanger I want to cover is from 1976 and Electro-Harmonix. It is the Electric Mistress Flanger Filter Matrix. That's a great name. Probably the best name you're going to see here today. I don't know. That's up to you. But this is an exceptional unit. You have a switch up top which switches from a filter matrix kind of delay-esque modulation into the flanging. It runs at 18 volts by way of two 9-volt internal batteries or power supply. They have reissued this in several different ways. This is a really nice sounding version. I've seen people bicker about this not quite being like this and stuff, but it's a really good pedal. I'm gonna let that just sit there. And it's classic. This one says Richard K. Gibbs. Someone carved it in. And if you want to call him, his phone number is 8. I don't know that that's a phone number. That might be his social security number. We're going to need to move on and just play the riff. Sorry, Richard. Number 2 on my legendary flanger list is not the DoD Stereo Flanger FX75-B. It's a great flanger. Some would say really great, and I personally think it's really, really great, but it's not legendary. And when it comes to DoD, in my opinion, it is the DoD FX70 from 1982, the year of my birth. And this edition has the soft foam foot switch. It's a little concerning when you think about all the germs that are in the foam. I try not to do that, but what I do like to think about is the insanely good vibrato sound I can get out of this flanger. Turn the knobs a little and get classic flanging, so it's super versatile, and mine has the original battery door. That's so rare. I'm gonna play it. Number 3 comes to us from Japan, like a lot of these, so that's an invalid point. But moving past that, it is the Pearl FG01 Flanger. Yes, Pearl, the drum company, made pedals. You didn't know that. but now you do. And I have the original box.
He has the box.
Let's look at the box together. It's important. Oh yeah, look at that. The top, Sound Spice Effectors by Pearl. If you look closely, you see that Pearl drum logo. Here it is, wrapped in luscious foam that is a few decades old. It's not concerning at all. I'm not afraid of the germs that are in the foam. Here it is. It's amazing. This flanger does some crazy stuff for 1984. Like things that are way out there. And we're going to do that because it can, and it's awesome. One of my favorite flangers. Next up comes from 1999. It is the Danelectro Psycho-Flange. You have to say it like that. You can't say psycho. You go Psycho-Flange. It is a triple thick flanging pedal. On the side it says so thick you could eat it with a spoon. On the other side it says give it a spin. The irony is it's not that psycho. It's pretty normal flanging. At times underwhelming, but when it is whelming, it's really good. And I'm going to play that setting because it's a good setting. Not many good settings, but there is this good setting, and it's legendary because that setting is that good. I hope that made sense to you. Next up comes from the late 70s. It is the MXR Flanger. This is the reissue. The originals had the built-in cable, but this one sounds great. It runs at 18 volts, and I love this as a slow flange with some overdrive distortion. I'm a big fan of this flanger. All the flangers you're going to see, I'm a big fan, but the way I'm about to play this, I'm a big fan of that way, and that's important. Next up comes from 1977. It is the Ross Flanger. Oh, and I have the box.
He has the box.
What a crazy thing. I get to show you the box. I'm super excited. Now, there's some hints on this box, mainly because it says Fort Worth, Texas. Now, that's problematic because Ross was from Kansas. But what we're going to learn here as I open the box slowly. Oh, wait, is that the original manual warranty card? Yep, that's what that is. Wait, are two original stickers never used? Wow, man. That's so cool that I have that. Is it in the plastic? Come on. This never happens. The plastic? Man, Nick, this is the original plastic.
Wow.
Check it out. Okay.
That is so cool.
Back to what I was trying to say. They were made in Kansas, but This is the black edition, which means it was made in Taiwan and distributed from Texas. Some of you need to know that because the original one is red. I have it at home. Yes, I have more pedals at home. I'm just going to play this. It's very classic. It's nothing fancy. I honestly think it's a direct clone of the MXR you just heard. But look at it. And look at the packaging. Okay? Okay? Number 7 is a Meris pedal. Wait, this is way too new. But it kind of is a Meris pedal. Because in 2004, Angelo, the designer of Meris, worked for Line 6. And he designed the Tone Core series. And in that series is the Liqua-Flange. Do you see how this happened? That's why I showed the Meris pedal. Because this is like pre-Meris. This is before Meris was a thought or a dream. It's really good. I think it's legendary. I think it's old enough to be legendary. I think it's important enough to be that. And the step and random features are crazy. There are things in this flanger that I've never heard any other flanger do. That's why it's on the list, and that's why you need to try it out. Number 8 is a pedal I absolutely love. I love everything about it. I love mainly how it looks, but I have to love how it sounds. It's that demanding. It is the 1980 to 82 series of PS effects by Guyatone. It is the flanger, and if you put the knobs in just the right place, it doubles over that signal from the output to the input. It does this feedback loop. It's insane. It's like a delay line gone crazy with flanging, weird harmonics. It's everything you want from a pedal that you never know you needed. Knew you needed? It doesn't matter. Let's just listen to it. I'm kind of running out of riffs. Like, I had 7 good flanger riffs, so we'll see what happens here. I could not do a Flanger Legend episode without mentioning a Boss pedal, but it won't be the BF2. As great as it is, and I think it is a legendary flanger, there is one more legendary than this. It is the Boss BF1. And it has a very entertaining story. According to inner workings at Boss and stories they tell and just the things they talk about around the water cooler, no one in Japan, especially at Boss Roland, knew what a flanger sounded like in 1976 when they were designing this. Ibanez had a thing going with Maxon, but they just didn't know what a flanger sounded like, but they were commissioned to design one, and the head engineer started crying. That is a real story. I'm not making that up, and it's fantastic. One day I hope that there's a made-for-TV movie about this happening, the guy crying. Maybe I could play that guy. I don't know. I have a lot of dreams. That's one of those dreams, but let's just play this. It's classic as it gets, and it's really important because it's pre-compact series for Boss, and it looks awesome. Number 10 on the Legendary Flange list is the Ibanez FL305, and I do have the original box.
He has the box.
Check out the moth here. These are referred to as the moth series. This is pretty old stuff for Ibanez Maxon. Maxon made all of these. Ibanez isn't really a company. It was more of a brand that Maxon made all the products. So you can actually find this exact pedal. It just says Maxon right here. It's fantastic. 18 volts. It uses a Redicon chipset. So if that chipset is destroyed and the pedal are broken, it's impossible to find them. They're so hard to find. It's exciting because it does the best modulation sound. Look at that original foam. Just falling out of the box. I love having the box.
He has the box.
Because the box has done things.
He has the box.
And the box never gets any credit.
He has the box.
And I think that you need to start respecting the box
He has the box.
that has saved the pedal so the pedal could be on the episode. Nobody cares about the box. Just me. I'm running out of riffs, but here we go. Try it again. The last legendary flanger of this video is possibly the most legendary because it's pretty awesome. It's used on a gajillion records. They're getting harder to find, and I hear people say it's legendary. So I'm going to trust the internet and trust all the people that I know. It's fantastic. It is the ADA Flanger. Analog Digital Associates was the company. They made this from 1977 to 1981. Mine has the power cord, and that lets you know it's a later series. The first ones did not have the power cord. It's probably not a good idea to hang this vintage expensive pedal like this, but it just feels good. I don't know. It was built in Berkeley, California. I'm completely out of riffs. I've maxed out my flanging abilities. Nick, can you play this next riff?
Sure.
All right, I'll get the stool.
Thanks.
Before we go, some honorable mentions and a mention of the Twin 12. I just needed some dirt because just clean flange like 11 times was too much. So if you hear any overdrive distortion, it's the Twin 12. We tried to put it up in the amp so you could see when we turn it on. Here are flangers that are legendary, but I just can't talk about all of them. We don't have enough time. The SF10 Swell flanger from the 10 series. It's magnificent. Beautiful color. I know that's yellow. It's not just yellow. It's a good yellow. the SFL1 by Arion, the stereo flanger. It's made of plastic. If you breathe on it wrong, it will break, but man, does it sound good when it's working. And this guy, I've never seen another, but it's legendary to me because I think it's from Russia or Poland. I don't know, it's probably from America. It has no brand name. I don't know what's going on. I'm pretty sure it's a copy of the MXR. I just think it looks amazing. Stare at this. 5 seconds. Do it. Okay, not 5 seconds. Then you have the Fulltone Choralflange. Super legendary, really good. I've shown it before. I think it's on my favorite Fulltone episode. This guy, the TC Electronics Stereo Chorus Pitch Modulator Flanger. I play it all the time on the show too. And then last but not least, and it's been played a few times, is the Flanger with No Name by Lovetone. That is the honorable mentions. Moving on to record time. Today's record time is brought to you by 2002's The Flaming Lips Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots. This is a fantastic album. Nick has actually plotted a movie with each song representing a storyline. I've yet to see that. I don't believe he really did it. That's okay though. And my favorite songs are probably One More Robot Symphony and Ego Tripping at the Gates of Hell, and then the last track, Approaching Pavanus Mons by Balloon, is awesome, and it has flanging on the drums. There's a lot of really clever, nice, classy modulation in here, things like flangers, and that's why I'm showing it, because it has that effect and because you need to listen to it. I think it's a classic record. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. Drop a comment below, and then also let me know your favorite records that have some flanger on them. I don't care if it's overused. I don't care if it's too much flanger. I just want to listen to some records with flanging. And I need more in that folder in my mind. So check it out. Thanks so much for watching this episode. You now have your yearly dose of flange intake. I know you feel better. I feel better. Thanks so much for watching. Like this episode, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon to get notifications of future episodes. In the description below, there is a link to become a patron of the JHS show where you can help out as we archive and tell stories about all these cool things with the history of guitar effects. I'd like to thank our patrons. They're being listed on the side right now. It's like magic. And also there is the JHSshow.com. You can go get shirts and other things you really don't need, but you kind of want. And that's it for today. Go buy a flanger. Any flanger. I don't care what it is. Just do it.